Most of my cameras have SD cards in them, so you'll have to open up the lens viewfinder and you'll see where the SD card is, press it in to eject it, and bring it to your computer to capture your footage. Transfer this footage to your correct folder. If your camera doesn't have a SD card, then you'll find the USB cable area under the handle. You plug in one side of the USB cable, and the other side you'll plug into your computer. Once you have the plug in the computer, you simply hit the button on the camera that allows you to go to play mode, and then you'll choose PC to connect it to the PC. At this point, I hit skip to not see the thumbnails here. Instead, I go to my computer screen. You will notice that after plugging in the camera that the folder window might open automatically that allows us to get our footage. If it doesn't, no big deal. Simply go to the bottom of the screen, open a folder, and you can find the Canon camera, and you'll get the same window. Now, there are different places where videos are usually kept. On some of them, they're in a folder similar to the DCMI, which usually is for pictures, but it does contain video clips sometimes. On many of the other cameras that I have set to AV-CHD instead of MP4, you'll have the AV-CHD folder. You'll end up going into the BDMV screen and then into the stream screen, and it'll show you all the video clips that have been shot. Now, I need to get these video clips into the computer, so I'm going to minimize that program so you can't see it anymore, and it's recording the screen. To move things into the proper folder, we'll need a folder, and if you haven't made one already, this would be a good time. I'm going to call this How to Use a Camera and Edit. So inside of this folder, I could put everything straight in, but it's going to get unorganized pretty quickly. So I'm going to make a subfolder, as should you, and this subfolder will be the video shots and B-roll, and the next one will be for all my voiceovers. If you don't make new folders, it's really hard to keep things straight. I could make a folder for music, but I only intend on using one song, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Now I'm going to take all of my footage that I just shot today, which starts here, and I'm going to go and collect all of them. So there's actually more than one way to get all this footage. You can lasso them by clicking outside of the files and circling them all by clicking and dragging with your left mouse, or you can left click on the first file, hold down shift, and left click on the last file. And if you find there are certain files you don't need in the middle, hold down Control, and you can deselect some. Likewise, you could select certain files by using the Control key. I want all of them to here, so I'm going to bring those in to my video shots folder. It'll take a few seconds for this to capture. Okay, now that everything is captured, we can get started. Now, this is a new Premiere project, so like I said, every single new Premiere project that you make, you must open Premiere from the Start button and connect Premiere to your folder. So we click on Premiere, it will boot up. I don't want the first window, close it. I don't use this area, instead we just go to New Project, give it a name. I'm going to call this Use a Camera and Edit. I'm going to find my folder by choosing location. I find it on the desktop, and I called it How to Use a Camera and Edit. So now I'm in the correct folder, so I will create this project. Okay, do not like this first window, going to skip it. Everything that you see set up here is a pretty normal setup for Premiere, except I am going to go to Window, Workspaces, and use Editing. Mine's already selected. If yours is not, please do this, because it'll set it up to look like mine, making this tutorial a lot easier for you. Now we're going to import our media, so I can right-click Import. I can also just simply click the Import button. When I get to the folder and I find my footage, where is it? Right here. Now I want to bring in everything that I have in this folder into the project. Now I could make a folder in here to keep my voiceover separate from my video shots, but I can also import folders. So I'm going to click on the folder and import the folder. If not, I could click on a group of files and just open them. I'm using the whole folder. Now when this folder comes in, since I don't have a timeline yet, I'd like the timeline to match my HD footage. Whatever you drop into the timeline at the beginning is the size that the footage will show up in, and you'll end up having exactly what you need. This is actually an initial shot I chose not to use, so I'm really going to throw it out. I hit the delete key to get rid of that clip. Now this new item in my folder is simply a timeline named the same name as the file I threw in. I'm going to go in, right click on this and rename it and just call this main timeline, which will allow me to work in it. I'm going to take this and drag it right out of the folder over here, and it will take it out of the folder so it sits on its own. Alright, now we can get started editing.